Hey guys, I'm Randy.
And I'm Daniel.
We're two lifelong friends and musicians, but when we're not playing gigs, we like to talk games.
And today on the Gaming Gig Podcast, we are doing a spoiler-free Tears of the Kingdom blowout. And before we get started, this portion of today's episode is sponsored by GameShelf.
Are you tired of your backlog being out of control? Luckily for you, there's GameShelf, the ultimate solution for tracking and attacking your backlog.
With GameShelf, you can easily keep track of all the games you want to play, as well as those you've played before.
At GameShelf, they understand the struggle of keeping your backlog organized.
That's why they've created a social site specifically for gamers, where you can keep track of your games without resorting to Word docs, Excel sheets, or primitive notebooks.
Plus, sign up is completely free and tracking your progress is simple.
So why not give them a try and join the community of gamers who are using GameShelf to stay organized and focused on their gaming goals. Check them out at gameshelf.dev. That's gameshelf.dev.
GameShelf. Find, shelve, play. All right, man. Tears of the Kingdom. It's been all I've been doing for the last couple days, besides gigs, which we've had a lot of.
Man, we've been doing a lot of that.
But other than that, it's been Tears of the Kingdom. I know the same has been for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I played it pretty much solid from the time we got home yesterday till I went to sleep. And I saw you playing something that wasn't Tears of the Kingdom, and I couldn't believe it.
Hey, me and Catherine were playing our co-op game. We do it every night. But
I'm surprised you're not just controller swapping Tears of the Kingdom.
yeah, that would be an interesting experience. But yeah, I mean, when a game has this much hype, and Tears of the Kingdom had an incredible amount of hype because Breath of the Wild was, huge and still is huge in lots of ways. Everyone's expectations for Tears of the Kingdom is so incredibly high. And the question is can a game live up to that much hype? And has it?
Yes.
Well, I personally am loving it. And that's what's crazy is normally when a game gets overhyped, it's destined for failure. Because if a game gets overhyped, there's just no way it can live up to what people's dreams are.
Right.
But somehow, Tears of the Kingdom seems to have done that. Now, we put out a poll, kind of getting everyone, kind of putting out feelers on what everyone thought. And the poll was, give Tears of the Kingdom a letter grade.
Yep, and at a whopping 10%, people gave it an F. At 3%, they gave it a C. At 9%, they gave it a B. And if you've been doing math along with me, at 78%, people gave it an A.
Yeah, so way overwhelmingly A. Interestingly, that the next highest percentage is F. I get that,
Oh, that's because people love to be extreme.
or that either one being a contrarian, which there are definitely contrarians out there. Daniel's one of them, and then I'm just messing.
I did nothing.
I'm just messing with you.
I did nothing.
But being a contrarian, but also people, I get no game is going to speak to everyone, and there are going to be some people who for this game it is not their cup of tea because it is a very open-ended game, and it is not a clear-cut experience for the most part.
No, yeah, I'm constantly being sidetracked. Just
Constantly. And if you don't like that, if you want a game that has clear objectives and has a straightforward, hey, do this, this is what you do next, this is not the game for you.
No.
But overall, people love this game. So we got some comments. The first one we got on this poll was from Nimblasto, who says, I haven't been bored once since I've been playing A++.
I'm right there with you, Nimblasto. I haven't been bored either. I'm going to be honest with you. I love doing this podcast, but I want to be playing right now.
Right.
That's how unbored I've been.
It is we were both huge Breath of the Wild fans, which I think having that context is important. But, still, besides, I've just been so excited to play this game, even though we both spent probably hundreds of hours in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
It's getting in the Tears of the Kingdom just had this magical aura about it that is just oh my gosh. And it is so much fun. They have nailed the feeling of adventure and exploring. No other game even gets close.
Yeah, something happened to me last night, and I won't tell you what it is because I think I'm a little further in the story than you, but I think we discovered this. I think we will discover this thing through the story pretty early, but I just haven't really pushed the story. But I just stumbled upon something that was really wild and out of left field. I had no idea about, and I want to tell you, but I can't.
Well, it's those types of things, where everywhere you go, there's something to explore and see and do, and you think I wonder, can I do that? And then Every time the answer is yes, you
Yes.
can do that.
And things just come out like things will seem they will appear so small and inconsequential, and then they will lead to something epic.
Right.
Like that's you can't ask for more.
I just don't know how any other game, like I've played tons of action adventure games, nothing has the same atmosphere and spirit and just captures that perfect adventure vibe like this, like Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. But we're going to get to in a minute. We're going to ask the question, is Tears of the Kingdom as good as Breath of the Wild?
But first, we got a comment from Morris Dennison who said open world Zelda has worn off on him, but he's going to pick up the game and give it a chance when it's cheaper, maybe. If not, it's not going to happen. It may not happen.
Yeah, I'm afraid it may not happen, my friend. You know, this is the first $70 Nintendo game. And I don't think they have any intentions on dropping the price anytime soon.
Yeah.
Judging by the fact that Breath of the Wild is still, if you go into like a Target or something and you're going to pick up the game, it's still $60. And that game released 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't think Tears of the Kingdom is going to drop in price. I'm afraid you may be just out of luck if you're waiting for a price drop. I would very highly encourage you just to go in and try it. Even if you feel like the formula's worn off on you, go back in. It's been a little while since you played an open world Zelda game, I'm assuming. So give it another try.
But I will say this one's even more open feeling. So
It is.
if that's not your thing.
If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But, you know, like, and I wanted to include a comment where someone wasn't so jazzed about it because not everyone is.
Yeah.
You know, I get that it's not for everyone. But the question that we talked about a second ago is it as good as Breath of the Wild? And we put out a poll asking that. And, you know, we had out of the people who have, you know, thought about this, 15% of people said, yes, it's just as good. 4% of people said no, Breath of the Wild is better. But then 18% of people said that Tears of the Kingdom is actually better than Breath of the Wild. And then 62% of people said they hadn't played it. So looking at the stuff that of the people who had and kind of, you know, chimed in on it, a big portion of those people who are playing them say that Tears of the Kingdom is better than Breath of the Wild. What's your gut reaction? I know
Better.
It's better?
It's better. It's everything that I loved about Breath of the Wild, but more. I mean, it's better.
I wonder, you know, like, I also think it's better, but I love games where I'm supposed to be creative and build things. And of course, that's what they added. And it's like, it's perfect for me. I love building things.
Yeah.
So if you make a game where the main gimmick now is that you got to build stuff to get around, I'm hooked. But now, like Catherine, who also adored Breath of the Wild, I don't think she's entirely sold on the building yet in terms of like, I think she is fine with it, but I don't know that she's going to love it the way I love it.
So yesterday I spent a lot of time at a gig talking to you about a thing I wanted to do in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
Do you think it's okay if I say this thing? It's not really a spoiler.
Yeah, I think you can definitely say it.
There are gliders in Tears of the Kingdom, right? And they look very akin to everyone's favorite green supervillain. And of course, I'm talking about the Green Goblin. And so I wanted to make a Green Goblin glider and fly it off of a sky island and just fly forever. And so I did. And I learned something that made me really sad.
What?
The gliders eventually disappear. They don't let you fly forever.
Oh no! How they just disappear.
They start flashing, and then they flash faster and faster and faster, and then they disappear.
Oh no!
And you fall.
Well, I guess they had to put some limits on it, and that's how they chose.
Because I could have gone anywhere.
Yep.
I mean, I could have gone anywhere in the map.
And they don't want you to do that.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Yeah. But it was
awesome. But it was awesome. So we have some comments on this about, you know, is Tears of the Kingdom as good as Breath of the Wild? That poll. And then, so what we have here is Thunderstrick. Oh man, I just finished the first temple and it's already my game of the year. And that's coming from someone who is a major critic of Breath of the Wild. Literally all of my worries, both from a story and gameplay perspective, have already been addressed and solved. And I'm just excited to play more of it tomorrow.
I feel you.
Game of the year. Is it going to be game of the year?
I told my students that it would be. They said, what are you going to play, Mr. Johnson? And I said, I'm about to play Tears of the Kingdom. And they said, what is that? I said,
they said, what is that?
Yeah, because kids don't understand, man. The younger kids, most of them just aren't. I don't know. There's a lot of Switch kids, but these kids are not Switch kids. And I said it's the most anticipated game of the year, and it's the game of the year.
And it's the game of the year. I mean, there's going to be some competition. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy came out this year. We had, let's see, Starfield coming out later this year.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have been digging the new Jedi Survivor game. I mean, I think there are some other games that probably will be, up for it, but I think it's going to Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. I think Link is going to use a lightsaber to sabotage the Starfield guy's spaceship, use it to break Harry Potter's wand, and then throw it into Death Mountain.
I was wondering where you were going to end that with.
I almost accidentally said Mount Doom.
Mount Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
I messed that up a lot. I mixed those two mountains up a lot.
Well,
actually.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Yeah. But we got another comment from Miguel GameCube Gamer said, if I play Tears of the Kingdom first, will it make Breath of the Wild not as enjoyable? Since I hear Breath of the Wild is like a tech demo for Tears of the Kingdom.
It's a good question. Should you play Breath of the Wild first before you play Tears of the Kingdom?
I don't think you would have to be honest with you.
I don't think you would have to. Definitely watch. Nintendo put out a story recap video that is like for people who it's been a while since they played Breath of the Wild or people who haven't played Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. Definitely watch that first. Like, definitely. And there's probably even better story recaps than even the one that Nintendo put out. It's fine.
Yeah.
But definitely watch a story recap on YouTube or something. And I think you'll be okay.
Breath of the Wild isn't exactly known for its story. So
No. But I do think that in a way, if you haven't played Breath of the Wild, a big portion of Tears of the Kingdom is that the main overworld is the same-ish. Mm-hmm. There are some changes.
Yeah.
But it's mostly the same. So in some ways, if you're playing Tears of the Kingdom, you haven't played Breath of the Wild yet, it's going to feel really fresh because everything. So I agree. I don't think you have to. I'd just say definitely watch a story recap. Because it's going to feel like the plot is going to be really weird. Not that the first game had that much story, but this is a direct sequel, and there are, things that...
I mean, it is a direct sequel, but I'm trying to think, like...
What do you need to know?
Yeah.
Maybe,
I mean, it sets up the story in the beginning. It's like...
I still think I would watch a story
I
recap.
would, too.
Yeah.
I just don't think... To answer your question, just play what you want to play, because I think it'd be fine either way.
No, I don't think it, Oh, if I play Tears of the Kingdom first, will it make Breath of the Wild? Oh, I kind of misunderstood that question. I was thinking it was saying, like, should I play Breath of the Wild first? But this is saying, if I play Tears of the Kingdom first, will it make Breath of the Wild not great? Like if you played them in reverse order.
That'd be kind of weird if you're planning on playing them both.
But I'd say do Breath of the Wild first.
Yeah, because Breath of the Wild is still so good. So like,
but you don't have to play Breath of the Wild. Is what we're getting at. So
let's just run with it.
Let's just go with it. Okay. So next we got a comment from Trevor Kirtland who said, "Don't believe the hype."
I disagree, Trevor.
I always try to put the other side of this,
Yeah.
Try to have some comments where people just are,
I would be interested to see if you'd played it, Trevor.
Have you played it?
Yeah.
Maybe they're saying, don't believe the hype that Tears of the Kingdom is better than Breath of the Wild. Maybe they're just a huge Breath of the Wild fan.
Maybe. But if you're a huge Breath of the Wild fan, you're going to be a huge Tears of the Kingdom fan.
Unless you just despise building things.
Yeah. But man, the building is so cool. Yeah. All right. Before we move on, we have to tell you about our Discord server. So we have a Discord server over on Discord. You can find a join link in any video we've got anywhere on the interwebs. And it's a great little community where we talk games and share memes. And it's just a great place to hang out.
Yeah, come hang out with us, guys. We also post our podcasts and episodes, our videos and reviews. All that goes on the Discord. So it's a good place to kind of keep up with us and also just chat with us. So find that invite link in the description.
All right. We got a new poll. Will you be picking up The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom?
Right.
Just straight up asking the question.
Right. I asked this actually a couple days before Tears of the Kingdom went out, just to kind of see what the numbers were. Mm-hmm. And 22% of people said they're not interested, but that means that 78% of people have at least some intention. Yeah. 8% people said they're undecided. But 43% said yes as soon as possible, and 27% said yes, but not immediately. So that's really good. Mm-hmm. Just if you have over 50% of people saying that they're interested in the game, and 43% said they're picking it up like day one, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's like the hype is unreal.
All right. Yeah. Well, let's go into some comments here. We've got Ty70.
That's it. Yeah, hard one to pronounce.
It is, but I got it, I think. Anyway, Ty said, I have my pre-order for the game and the amiibo paid off already. We'll be picking it up day one, recording my first playthrough of it and everything like that. Can't believe that it is here. I picked up the Zelda OLED as well as my first special edition console ever. Can't frickin' wait.
This reminded me so much of Anthony, who shared on our Discord server.
Yes.
He shared a picture of, he went out and got the game. Mm-hmm. He got the special edition console. He got the special edition case. He got the special edition Pro Controller. Was there anything that I missed?
He got, kind of like how we got a plaque, he got the Australian add-on.
Oh, yeah,
so
we did.
He got like a little, it's like a leather pouch kind of thing.
I wonder where the plaque was.
I tucked it away.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something we haven't talked about. We went to the midnight release.
Mm-hmm, we did. It was not easy to talk Grandpa into going. But I think he's glad he went.
Yeah, I'll put a little bit of just some quick video of what it looked like at our local GameStop at the midnight release, just to show you guys what it was like. It was pretty cool.
It was cool. We even ran into old Punchy Punch.
We did. We ran into some people who have hung out with us on have commented and then hung out with us on Twitch and all that kind of stuff. So it was really fun.
It was a good time.
It was. So next, we got a comment from Miss Foe. Oh, Heather Cook here. Said, I played 300 hours of Breath of the Wild, but that was mostly because I had nothing else to play on my Switch at launch, not because I actually liked the game. I feel no desire to play another game like it, so I'll be skipping this one for sure. Man, Heather, we've had many great comments. We've talked through the podcast many times, and I very rarely disagree with you, but I disagree with you on this one, and let me try to convince you in the kindest way possible. I think that there is no way that you could ever, this is from me, you could never tie me down and make me play 300 hours of a game that I didn't like.
Yeah.
Nay, a game that I didn't love.
Right.
Now, you may have convinced yourself that you don't love Breath of the Wild, but I think you do. I think you're ready for Tears of the Kingdom. No way you put 300 hours on it and wouldn't love Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild is one of my favorite games ever, and I do not have 300 hours. But I had other things to play in my defense. Yeah, Heather, I don't know. You do you, boo-boo.
No, I think you should give it a try, Heather. I'm telling you, if you put 300 hours in on Breath of the Wild, it doesn't matter if you felt like you were just... No one's that bored, though. No one's that bored.
I'm sorry that Randy called you a liar, Heather.
No, I don't think that she's a liar. I think that she's played lots of games since then.
And forgotten.
And you've forgotten. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You've forgotten how much you loved that game.
All right.
Okay, so...
Got another comment from LMAO LOL.
Yep.
LMAO LOL. Said, already finished it.
Yeah. Now, this comment was posted a few days before the game even came out.
Yeah.
So, that's going to lead us into our next conversation, which is about how Tears of the Kingdom leaked 11 days before it launched.
Yes, and we're going to get to that in a second after we tell you about our Twitch.
Right.
So tell them about our Twitch, Randy.
Right. Well, we mentioned a second ago, but we have a Twitch channel, and we stream on there every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Right now, we're playing games like Sea of Thieves, Rocket League, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Come hang out with us. It's a great place to chat with us in real time and hang out and play video games with us. We get viewers to play with us. So, if you want to play Smash with us, we put the arena code up. Heck, if we're playing Rocket League and you just want to join, if we have room, we'll let you in. I mean, we do that kind of stuff all the time.
Oh, yeah. And you get a better feel for Randy's glowing personality.
My glowing personality. And you get to see how bad I am at video games. I love them, but I'm not great at them.
It's true.
It's true.
All right. So
Randy
Randy
mentioned
mentioned...
Smash. I'm not good at Smash.
No, he's not great at Smash. I wasn't either last time, but I was frazzled.
I was better than Daniel last time. I don't
He
know how it
wasn't
happened.
better than me. He just played the free-for-alls more strategically than me. And
I had higher finishes.
free-for-alls don't mean nothing. Free-for-alls literally mean nothing.
That's what Daniel has to tell himself.
Oh, I know it's true. If Randy had his way, we'd do nothing but free-for-alls with items on.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah, that would be fun.
He's a filthy casual. But he was trying to tell you about a poll where we asked people, will Tears of the Kingdom leak hurt the sales of the game? We had two choices. We had a yes, we had a no. At a whopping 12%, people said yes, and 88% of voters said no, it won't hurt the sales. Tears of the Kingdom slaps.
Yeah. And we had a comment here that I think, in my opinion, summed this situation up very well. Because I'm thinking, Nintendo is probably furious that that Tears of the Kingdom leaked 11 days before it was supposed to come out. I mean,
Definitely.
that is, they've got to be mad. And I was thinking like, man, is this going to hurt the game sales? So we got it from Puyo Gooey. I think that's it. Said it won't make the game not sell, but yes, any amount of piracy will hurt the sales of a game. I love emulation, but playing something that hasn't been released yet feels weird. I definitely feel like a lot of the people who emulate the game will end up buying it because the emulation isn't perfect, but that doesn't mean some people aren't just going to pirate the game and not pay for it because of the leak.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about emulation and, the moral dilemma, the ethical dilemma, and in some case, the very prevalent legal dilemma that it brings up. And I agree. Like, I love emulation, but playing something before it even comes out feels a little scummy.
It does. It just feels a little weird. I mean, like, I think to me it feels weird emulating a game that you can currently purchase, like that you have an ability to purchase in another way from the people. Like, it just feels weird. And like, also, I mean, if you own the game, and you can go back and watch our podcast where we talk about all this, I don't feel so weird about it. But definitely, if the game hasn't come out yet, there's no legal way to purchase it.
Right.
So you haven't purchased it. Even if you intend to, I guess if you've like pre-ordered it, I guess. I don't know.
Technically, we did pay for the game before it came out.
That's true. So maybe there is a little bit of a gray area there, but in a future comment, there's something that even goes in this. But I agree with Puyo Gooey here, who said that it, any amount of piracy will hurt sales of the game, because if there was no way to pirate it, everyone who wanted to play it would have to buy it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And you're right that the emulation isn't going to be perfect for a while. So,
but does that mean it's going to hurt sales? I don't think so. I don't think so. And there's a comment later that I think even nails it right on the head.
I think it will taint people's view. People who are playing it through emulation maybe aren't going to enjoy it as much right now because it's not going to be as smooth of an experience. So that could color their view of what could otherwise be like their favorite game ever.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but you're totally right. Because if the emulation isn't perfect, and that's what they're saying. Like,
yeah, I keep track of this stuff, and right now it's not perfect. But if people are playing it, but like there are definite stutters and frame. I mean, people are lucky to get like in the 20s, which maybe it's not much different than sometimes on Switch, but it runs fine on Switch. It really does. Anyway, we got a comment from Tom Derry, who said, Zelda will continue to sell very well. I would bet money that it will be the #1 selling game of 2023 and probably top 10 in 2024. You're probably right, Tom.
Top game in 2023. I mean, worldwide, probably. In the U.S., if a Call of Duty comes out this year, we might have some.
Yeah.
Because they just sell insane numbers. Yeah. I mean, just insane numbers. A lot of the sports games also sell really good numbers. But worldwide, maybe #1 selling game of 2023. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy is going to be a really hard thing to fight against too, because that game had so much pull, and that game has sold so many copies. And the Xbox One and PS4 versions of that game came out, and apparently it runs really good on those. They've got a really great version of it, from what I've heard. I haven't played it personally, so that is very. Think about how many people have PS4s and Xbox Ones. I know lots of my students have been waiting for Hogwarts Legacy to come to last gen.
Yeah.
So, and once it hits Switch again, it's supposed to hit Switch later on in the summer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be tough.
See.
But Tears of the Kingdom might do it, but it's only on one console.
Yeah.
It's not cross-platform, so that's going to hurt.
But it's a console that has sold ridiculously well, so it's not like there aren't units out there.
Yeah. All right, so hit us with this one about Raichi. Now, Raichi goes and talks about why they think it's not going to hurt the sales. I think it's really interesting.
All right. So Raichi said, it will hurt, but it's minimal. People who are going to pirate the game would have done even after release, but the game will be out of stock day one. I still remember there was more Zelda games sold than Switch in the release of the console.
Right. But the main thing here is people who are going to pirate are going to do it before or after. They were going to pirate no matter what.
True.
Like, they're not, they weren't just like, just because the game leaked 11 days early. I'm sure there are some people who they're so excited about it that when the game released 11 days early, they couldn't help but say, I got to play it as soon as possible. But those people are probably also going to buy a copy.
Probably.
But the people who are only going to pirate, they were only going to pirate the entire time.
Yeah.
I don't think it leaking early is going to change that.
I think you're right.
So the hurt will be minimal.
Yeah. I don't see it being a huge issue at all, honestly.
And
I know the Nintendo ninjas are mad, but
yeah. And I mean, like, I didn't pull all the comments, but I probably in these 4 polls about Tears of the Kingdom, I maybe got 4 or 5 comments of people saying that they had played it early. Mm-hmm. So, there are people who have done it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't like it was a crazy amount of people.
And they didn't have as much fun as we are because it didn't run well.
Well, it's true. It's true. Overall, I mean, the game is just, it's fantastic.
It's so freaking good. I think about it when I'm away from it. Like, games, that's how it used to be when I was a kid. I would think about, like, the game I was playing, like, all the time. And I don't do that anymore. Now I do. That's high praise. It's so good. So I would definitely, if you've hung out with us this entire time, like, know that the game, if you're looking for like confirmation that the game's worth picking up, yes, absolutely. And like, you can just see from all the polls we've done about, the 80 or 78% of people who gave it an A. I mean, yeah.
That's.
I hope you've been playing in handheld the whole time you've been watching.
If you have been playing Tears of the Kingdom in handheld while watching or listening to this podcast, please let us know.
That would be awesome.
But thank you guys for making it to the end. Now, if you made it all the way to the end, we want to, shout you out at the end of the next podcast. Mm-hmm. So we do that through our 3 for Dale Club. I didn't mean to jump ahead of you there.
I was going to tag. I thought you were going to throw it up to me.
Tag me in.
Yeah, we do that through our 3 for Dale Club. And all you have to do is drop the phrase 3 for Dale in any comment that you make on our YouTube video. And we'll put you in the 3 for Dale Club and we'll shout you out next week.
Yep. So last week we had a couple members of the 3 for Dale Club. One is Landon Stallings, who is like the king of the 3 for Dale Club.
Dale himself.
I don't even know the last time Landon missed being in the 3 for Dale Club. Landon is like a trooper among troopers.
He is.
Yeah.
And we also have Tom Derry, who is also a trooper, and he has also been very consistent.
And we just read one of his comments.
Yep, that's right. We love Tom.
That's right. So, thank you guys for being a part of the 3 for Dale Club. And don't forget to leave us a comment somewhere but 3 for Dale so that you can be in the 3 for Dale Club next week.
Heck yeah.
All right, guys. Well, until next time, I'm Randy.
Which makes me Daniel.
And this has been Gaming Gig.
Peace out.